Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming CPA's channel. In today's episode we are going to work on a little bit of a situation with our concrete. I want to basically actually construct our first kind of a factory setup. Yay, Christmas present. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this area and I'm going to build kind of a tower, and my kind of picture for it is basically having a tower that fully utilizes one full block and set it up for future. So basically if one of these iron ore segments produces 120, or when it's at 2.5 times the speed, when we're able to overclock it, it'll allow me to produce 300. Then I want to basically build a factory setup that is future proof and ready for a 300 setup. And I want to do it floor by floor. So we're going to have one floor that works with one iron node that has the capacity for a 300 line, even though we won't be able to fully maximize and utilize that. But I want to build it up for future proof. And would you look at that? We got a little blue slug over there. We're probably going to go snag that. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to need a lot of concrete. I tried to go AFK for a little bit while I was doing this, and I realized, hey, I don't have coal or any sort of power, and I have to do it all via biomass, and that just was not realistic. So we ended up not really AFKing for too long, so hopefully we have enough concrete built up so that we can make this work and make the progress happen. And there's our blue slug all collected. Perfect.
Picking up multiple fix-it personnel in the area. Proceed.
All right, creepy. Let's go ahead and continue on down to our base. That's how we build our little staircase on up, and let's go get our concrete mixtures real fast. All right, that's 900 some concrete. That's awesome. Let's go check out our other one as well. And another 900. Awesome. So that's a lot of concrete. That's going to put us in a really good position. Once I grab some iron plates, we will be able to build foundations, and I'm probably going to end up setting myself up with one of my little tab bars down here with some foundation. So let's go ahead and actually do that really quick. I want this guy. I want this as my main. I'm going to do that. I want to basically create a utility room, and that's going to help do that. And then you know what? I might actually add in that guy just for kicks and giggles. And then I'm going to add these guys at the end of the bar. And let's go ahead. I might try to map things out and place things down just so I have a good idea. So we'll do something like that. And I don't know if I've unlocked the holes. You know what? I may need to unlock the thing that eats the resources, the resource sink. Yeah, we're going to have to unlock that. I'm going to need to know how tall the smelters are, because that's what this whole thing's basically going to be, or that's going to be the tallest thing in this building. So this is going to have a little bit of everything just for building up. Let's go get some iron plates, and then we can figure things out from there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab some rods in case I obviously need to build some sort of a power poles and lines. And look at those iron plates. That's not even all of them, folks. I think we should have another constructor back here that's also been constructing plates for me. And then I also have screws. Not that I need those because we're not making we're not quite making the reinforced iron plates. There we go. Perfect. So now, if I recall, we have foundations that cost 5 concrete. Look at that. We have 2,000 of each resource. That is awesome. That is super good. That's going to put us in a really good position so that when we go to build these things, we're going to have plenty of resources. So with that, folks, let me go ahead and tell you again. So basically, I want to build a nice tall tower. I want it to be as wide as needed and still be able to fully optimize the line. And I know we're going to run into this guy at some point, which is a bummer. But let's just go ahead and see what it takes for a line. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so scary. Wow, look at that. Look at him. Look at him. Whoa, he's a shaking. Look at the muscles on that, the sinew. Ugh, creepy. Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and I want to see what we need for a nice line, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and just zoop this sideways. Again, this is not where we're going to be final. But I just want to see how far we need to go to create a fully optimal line. Let's just pretend there. Okay. So what we then need to do, again, you guys, this is just to get a figure. I guess I should just go like this, shouldn't I? Don't worry, we can mass deconstruct all of this. We're not going to have any issues. If I were to smelt all of these bars, and I were to smelt them down the middle, and down the middle as good as possible, okay? And I want these guys to look good, all right? That's the thing. I like things to look good and organized, something like that. And they have a splitter here, you know, that splits out to them, and then the splitter goes right in the middle, you know, and then it splits out. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing? It makes a nice little perfect 90-degree angle. Ooh, that one did not. Haha. What? What? Oh, this is not on. That's why. Silly you. Let's. What? Why is it snapping to that weird thing? Okay, that's got to be better. Okay, something like that. So these guys are they consume 30 iron ore. Now again, we're producing 120, but we need to have basically 10 of these machines lined up in case we have a fully optimized and operating machine. So to do that, that is 6. I need 4 more. I think that's all, right? Perfect. So that's 10, and we fell short. So what I want to do then, I guess, is I want to try my best to minimize my clipping on this. So let's go ahead and zoop this way, and this will be our border. So this will be as far as we go. Now, I do also need to do one other thing, believe it or not. Oops, I just killed the power to one of my items. We definitely want to restore that power. Hey there, buddy. Sorry about that. The next thing what I want to do is go ahead, use that, build the 10 smelters, but remember we're going to have to split these guys off, and we're going to have to load balance. So we want to preemptively load balance our setup. So let's go ahead and do some math, and I'll show you what I come up with. All right, you guys, so here we have our setup. As you can tell, we don't obviously have quite yet any belts, but this is how it's going to be. It's not perfectly load balanced because technically the middle load is going to overfeed those guys. But basically we're going to have this first one here feed 2 off to the side, 1 off to the side, and then 1 off to the other side. And then those are going to feed into those. So we're basically going to send 2 120 lines off to each side. And then theoretically, I mean, it'll try to split it into basically 3 100 lines, but this one in the middle will end up getting overclocked and overrun, and so then it'll spit out the additional 40 or 20 to each side, and then that will split again and form 2 60s, which turn into 30s for each one. So I did move them into the middle of each grid because that's what I need to do to make my constructor look good. So we're going to go ahead and fill out the lines and show you what it looks like with the spaghetti inside. All right, so this is what we're going to be looking like when it's fully operational. We have obviously all the lines in, and it's all split out perfectly. Now, we're not going to start this way. I'm probably only going to use, again, I only get about access to one of these, so I'm just going to basically remove the 2 conveyor belts here on the left and the middle, because right now, since I can't overclock, I can only use 120. So, and technically my belts, I think, only built out 60. At the current pace that they're on, so I don't have Mark II belts. So I'm just going to probably plug it into this first one and only use the right. So it'll probably be more like I'll have 4 machines at about 50% capacity, as opposed to, you know, 120 or 4 machines at full capacity. But we at least have it set up so that way I can now build my factory upwards, build out the constructors, and build kind of the storages and where I want things to go on this first floor, and give you guys a kind of an idea of how the factory is going to look. So let's go ahead and check in when that is ready. All right, there you go, you guys. There you have it. That's kind of the first floor idea. Again, we have 10 smelters. That's going to smelt 100% of a pure vein or a pure node, and then they're all going to go into constructors, and those iron plates are going to feed into the next the storage bin. So right now that's just going to be kind of our simple storage setup. So that way when this is fully operational, fully going, we're going to just be storing our iron plates, and then when we need to grab them for future projects, whether they're further up the tower or maybe they're in an adjacent tower when I'm doing assembly work, then we can just grab them from here and it'll be super simple. So we are going to go ahead and set up our power utility line. That way we can connect all these guys to power. We're only going to initially use these first 4 that you can see hooked up right now. And then we're probably going to start building a second floor, maybe in a future video where we kind of finish up the factory and get it all set up. I just wanted in this episode to just kind of showcase what the idea is going to be for this factory layout and the blueprint, and just kind of the floor by floor setup that we're going to go for just kind of this initial beginning base factory, so that way we can optimize and fully be prepared for future upgrades as we're able to overclock. So let's go ahead and get the power set up so that way you guys can start to see some of this in operation. All right, you guys, so what we have going on here is I forgot I don't quite have the next setup of power poles, the little power nubbins, unlocked yet, so I can't really do the power how I want to do right now, but I did show you we have what I like to call a little utility area. This little gap here allows us to run the power. So what we'll do is we'll create little nubbins that'll come down right in these gaps that'll connect nice and easily to these machines without creating that much of, you know, lines coming through and just power poles all strewn about. It'll be nice and clean, and then I'll run the power up in here, up in this gap, so that way it's all out of sight, out of mind. The only line you're gonna see is a little line coming down from one little nub in here to this little guy to power it, but then all the lines running from nub to nub is gonna be up here hidden. You can also run conveyor belts up in here if you have an assembler area and you're trying to pipe in maybe some iron plates and some rods to make some reinforced plates. You can use this area as well for that. So it's almost like a little hidden shaft that is useful for running things you want to kind of hide so that your factory looks a lot cleaner. So sadly, I need to unlock the nubbins first, but I wanted to show this to you. Let me go ahead and complete the look of the factory at the first floor. And all right, you guys, and that's kind of it for a setup. Again, what we have is we have that hidden utility room right there, and then we're already set up for our next floor. We have a little ramp up to it. But this is this fully optimized, future-proof line here, and this could be 100% iron plates. I believe it would be producing about 200 iron plates a minute if it was fully optimized, which we would just need some overclocking, which is going to mean that we need to utilize the MAM. And you know what? I have the MAM here, so we may start unlocking some new technology. But yeah, this is just kind of a simple setup. Again, I haven't quite obviously blocked everything off. I just want to show you guys the nice little design, and I will chop down this tree once I unlock the chainsaw. But this is what I want to show you guys as far as kind of my idea. This is going to go up utilizing ideally all the lines in this area. And hopefully with those lines, we'll kind of get going on the early manufacturing of all of our early game products, iron plates. And then I'm going to do an all iron tower. And then possibly maybe a copper tower next to it, and limestone and concrete, and maybe kind of merge them together and do a different tower for assembly. But you know what? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Also, again, this is not our final design. We need to first... Oh, I snapped a photo. Adorable. We need to first go ahead and finish off getting the MAM as well as the resource sink, so I can unlock some of those resource nubs and such, so that way we can hopefully get a little bit further, unlock some more things to make things a little more useful. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And you know what? I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and enjoying the video and watching all the way to the end. And until next time, maximize those deductions and pay less in taxes. Have an amazing day.